I want to talk to you about my friend Charlie Crawford. He's a 10-time NFR qualifier.
Charlie Crawford, time to just shake it out and win. Got it on him fast, set
there
up.
We are.
Here's a day
nice
money
run.
lead. You betcha 3-8.
That's an absolute perfect run. Timing was perfect from the time the first swing is up. He's got the control. Charlie made it happen by being timed up with his horse with the steer, and being able to not just rope, but to pick that steer's head up without changing the momentum for the heeler at all.
We know his beautiful wife, Jackie, all three of their beautiful children, the founder of the Liberty and Loyalty Foundation, which this year will exceed $1 million raised for military and first responders. I've said it 1,000 times. Charlie, it's time to rope, nod and ride, whip and spur. I want to welcome you to the Charlie Crawford Podcast. Let's ride.
All right, we're on. Junior Nogueira, welcome. Thanks, Cowboy, for doing this with us. Welcome to the podcast, and thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Good run last night at Houston, second round. That was a great run. That was a tough round, but Driggs did an amazing job. Not to steal your thunder on this podcast, but that Driggs hit the line good, and there wasn't no rope left. Like, that rope came out of nowhere. When he got out, I was like, I don't know if they're going to do it. And then that rope came out of nowhere and went on as tight as could be. And then first top, yes. That was all he got to take after that. And the rareback came after that. Good run.
Thank you. Yes, sir. He did an amazing job. And that steer, Rogers and Eves had him on the night before. He kind of came left a little bit more and then kind of low-headed. So I tried to stay back a little, and then he didn't see me. He kind of get going and stepped to the right a little bit. But then Caleb just sent his whole rope and put it on it.
Mm-hmm.
That was good. Excited to make a good run and looking forward for tonight.
Yeah. So you kind of went MIA a little bit, missing in action. So we heard that you had some troubles with your eye, I believe, I'd heard that after the NFR, and didn't see it Odessa. I get it. I don't sometimes always want to go to Odessa too. No big deal. Didn't see it Denver, who wants to drive in the snow. So get that one. But then when I didn't see it Fort Worth, I'm like, oh man, was the eye worse than I thought it was? What all happened with all that? And in your time off, what actually happened?
Yeah, after actually started the day before I go to Caleb Rope and the Capitalist, and I had something like burning my eye a little bit. So my mom's family, they all have a little deal in their eye. So my mom kind of talked to her about it. So they just kind of keep it on and on, asking me to go to the doctor. So I went, took some pictures. But it wasn't bothering me that much. So, and then they see something out there, and then they kind of worried me a lot about it. And so I sent those pictures to some doctors back home, and just kind of look it up. So you're okay, kind of like an ulcer kind of deal, but he just could be for stress or nose spray. So I used to use a lot of nose spray because I had a bad sinus infection and all that. So so I went rope out there, and after that, 2 days after roping, my eye just come back normal, and I was good. So I had to stay away from the nose spray, but I had bad sinus and allergies for years. And so we go back to roping, everything's fine. I'm just trying to adjust my life without the nose spray, but getting a little colder before we leave, so my sinuses start getting really bad. So I kind of talked to doctors and ordered some medicine. I took some, just tried to get prepared. So I took some medicine. I couldn't have it because it had the same thing with the nose spray. I had really strong, so it really affected my eye really bad 2 days before I leave. So I still go to Arizona. I went back to the doctor right before I leave because I was really worried. But then I went, and then jackpot was okay outside. Didn't bother me much, but my left eye was really, really blurry. So I roped through there. But then went to the NFR, was kind of, really worried, not feeling comfortable. So to go fast under the lights kind of bothered me a little bit. But then I think I'll be okay. Just do my job, kind of let my header go fast. I just kind of go clean it up. And the first 2 rounds I did really good and I feel good. And but then I got a really bad sinus infection out there too. Then I got really sick, and then that was really bad. And then just go down, had fever for 5 to 6 days, and not an excuse, but that's what happened. And then I think the eye got really worse when you have sinus infection, the vision, and then I didn't feel good, and that was pretty bad. is a terrible timing, but we made it through. So I flew home, go find some doctors, and not supposed to be the sinus be related to the eye, but I had to done sinus and clean everything out because all my sinus was terrible. But I find great doctors, got it done, and they said, "Man, I don't know how you live that long without breathe and it just all that." So I cleaned the septa, sinus. Now I'm feeling good. My eyes getting better little by little. That's why now we're just coming back. That's why I miss all those rodeos and
Did you have to have surgery on it? Is that what happened? And what did you have?
I had surgery on my sinus. I fixed it, all my sinus and my nose. The septum was all crooked.
So the sinuses was impairing your vision that was making your eyes hurt?
Probably could be. Not supposed to be related to what I got, but it was all on my left side, the worst thing. So I think it's kind of at least holding on to heal up or just feel better so clean all the infection go away. So for sure the infection will make way worse, and that was really bad.
What does it feel like now?
Man, that was good. I sleep really well. I couldn't sleep, and I have to have those nose spray, and that's kind of bad for you. And man, just be able to lay down and sleep all night, that's unbelievable. So
they carted it, or just went in there and cleaned everything?
They went out there and cleaned everything. Yeah, they just cut it, but just went inside and just from cameras and cleaned everything.
Do you feel a difference since you've came back from where you were at the finals, like where your vision and where everything's at?
It's a lot better. Yeah, I'm still a little indoors, still a little blurry. Still working on the eye, but just to be able to breathe and feel better, I think just to help you just to concentrate better too.
Well, it looked like Junior last night because that was where you got in position, where you rode, and where you fired at. It looked like just like how we always see it. That was a good run.
Yeah, no, thank you.
That's good.
We're working on it.
Man, what a career. Man, I'm so excited to learn your story. But just what you've done since you've came up here, since 2014. You've made the NFR 10 times straight. $2.3 million that you've won in the PRCA. It's not counting the Americans. It's not counting, jackpots and things like that. But just your PRCA earnings is phenomenal. 3 world titles. One was the all-around title in 2016, and then 2 back-to-back Heelan titles in 2021, 2022. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And, because I've talked to so many people that I've known that kind of, even a couple of my buddies that came and got their cards and was rodeoing almost the same time as you. And, knowing where you came from and they're like, man, I just don't get it. Like, I had the same opportunity or even more opportunity than you did. And just what you did with the opportunity you had, that's phenomenal. That's an amazing career. So where did you come from? I know in Brazil, Presidente.
Yeah, São Paulo, Brazil. That's
and there's a ranch down there.
Yeah.
What was it like there growing up? How did you learn how to rope? Okay,
well, I think all my story, Charlie. A lot of people know. We're close. But all happened in my life and what's going on. I just it was my dream. I'm living my dream. And if somebody asks me, a lot of people ask me that question, not trying to be arrogant or better than everybody. Everybody said, have you dreamed, come from another country, and do all you done? I said, man, I dreamed every bit of it. I'm not lying to you. I'm still way far what I really wanted to do, but I'm very thankful, because God had a promise for me, for my life since I was little, and he done it, in a short period of time, and every bit of it has just been helped me. And that's why I want to give him all the glory to my career. It's nothing about, like people just want to talk about God is good, but we have to work. He gave you talent, he gave you the opportunity, so you got to capitalize. You got to work really hard because everybody here is doing the same thing. And when you have a chance, you need to be ready, to ready to capitalize that. So I learned, and but let's go back to where I came from, and then we go through the story.
I like it.
So, yeah. So, I'm from Presidente Prudente, São Paulo, Brazil. My dad, he was an amazing roper, like a phenomenal roper. So, my dad's side of family, everybody's a cowboys. A lot of good ropers. Even one of my aunt ropes really good in the ranch. So, my cousins, they good horsemen. And my dad was a great horseman. So, they all learn from the big ranches where we lived around there. We have a huge ranches and a lot of mama cows still, but back then there was a lot. So that's why cap roping was big. chain roping wasn't bigger like the way they are right now. So cap roping is the thing out there. So they have a lot of ranchers that they all would work cows during the day, and the ranchers, the cowboys, the workers, they would just after they get it done by 5-6 o'clock, some of them they just go for fun, rope calves, because they have so many calves. So my dad, he kind of loved that in a way. He kind of get good at it, and then he become a phenomenal roper back there. He was really good. And some American guys went out there, done the school. That's like on 70s and 80s, and met him, and that's why he always went to schools and learned. And then he got really good at roping, and he got really good at horses. So the horse show got in. King Ranch moved on. He kind of helped King Ranch to train a bunch of horses at King Ranch, Brazil. And the AQHA came in, horse shows, whatever, everything started. But my dad, he passed away on a very young age. He was 36 years old. So he had a heart attack at the rodeo roping, and he passed away. So the way he met my mom was the first woman to become a roper back home.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have no girls to rope. My grandpa on my mom's side was a rancher too. So he only had 3 daughters. So my mom was more like a helper.
Mm-hmm.
She loved that the other 2 didn't really got involved to the ranch, and my mom would help him and go with him and rope and just ride horses and all day. So that's
Cowgirl.
how she cowgirl.
Yeah.
And then she wanted to rope. So my grandpa bought her a horse, and she just started roping. And then she met my dad. It's kind of like bringing attention. I said, man, what's going on? This girl roping, it's the only one on the amateur class. So mom got pretty good. She was pretty good to rope cast too. She would flank and tie, and she was good. Show horses.
Oh, she'd rope calves.
She rope calves.
Nice.
And then they started chain roping to start. So that's when it started getting bigger.
Mm.
So then she started heading from my dad. My dad had really good rope calves, great. But his dream was to be a really good healer. And he wasn't a very good healer. He healed, but wasn't a really good. So he loved to heal. But he could rope calves, and he could have had really, really good. And that's where I came from. So when I growing up, and then my mom is kind of like, she was my mom and dad, raised me, and she always kind of keep, helping me just whatever we need to. And but I kind of learned how to rope. That's what I love. So she said, well, you're getting better at roping, but you need to be better at horseman. So you need to learn how to ride and how to. So my uncles was pretty good in rein and stuff a little bit, but I kind of want to know how. We always follow here. Everything happened here. That's why we follow the best cowboys. It is the greatest country in the whole world is here. So the whole sport is 50 years ahead of us in Brazil and anything. So I had a chance. I had a friend of mine back home. He lived here. He done, I think, high school. He speaks really good English. So he came over and we came visit. I got my visa. I was like 16, 17 years old, probably 16. Came over. So that's how we kind of ended up meeting Robbie's shoulder.
Hmm.
So I ended up met Robbie. Went there one day to rope with another Brazilian friend who knows him. So we go over there, and Robbie saw me roping and said, man, he brought a couple horses, head horse, make me one. And then he brought 2 really good show horses. And Matt, the translator, talked to me. He said, hey, just kind of show this horse like you do the horse show. I said, oh, okay. I was just roping on him like jackpot. So he brought me like a stud out there. I don't really remember, but man, I just sent that horse a little wider, let the steer move, and I come, and I'm telling you, that thing just laid down on the ground like that. And Robbie said, I kind of like that. So Robbie said, kind of like that.
Nice.
So I stayed with Robbie that first year, like for 3 months. So
when you first came up, you were 16?
I was 16.
16
years old. So I stayed with Robbie for 3 months, almost 4 months. I went home. So the next year I said, Mom, that guy is unbelievable. So, and then the AQHA started growing, horse shoting, roping,
Okay.
So I said, I need to learn how to get better with the horses, and the horse show, the AQHA training, and get better. So I came over the next year, the same thing, and I stayed with him like for 5 months, almost 6 months. So then we went to more shows and cow horse more, kind of like picked a little bit more. So I went back home, kind of figured out a little bit more. We jackpot a lot, but I know the horse show, training horses, kind of learn how to got better horsemen and seen the best guy in the whole world. That guy was unbelievable with horses. So I started training horses little by little and start picking up, showing some. And And my mom would always help us. We have a little small place out there, a small ranch. So we just start training horses. And for 5 years, I just stayed on there, helping my family. But I had the dream to always jackpot. When I had to tell jackpot rodeo to go. But the main thing was just like training horses to make a living. That's how we cannot make a living rodeo home or rope. And now it got a lot better. Now it looks like they can make a living. Back then, we couldn't. So I always had a dream to come over to America. And I always dream. And we do have a friend, Lincoln Figueredo Jose. I don't know if you remember them. So they came over here in the rodeo for a couple of years, a long time ago. So I was
early 2000s, if I remember.
Probably, yeah. And then now we just hear stories, and Jose and Lincoln tell they drive all night to run one steer, and we just sit there and listen to that and say, man, that's unbelievable. That's crazy. And then to make the NFR, you're going to have to run so many steers through the year, and when the season's over, you got to be in the top 50 and talk about rookie of the year. And I'll just dream about that. And man, I like to try at least 1 year. Just try it, see if we could do it. So, 2008 to 2013, a guy went to Brazil to the horse show at Coite, and I met him out there. His name is Robert Reynoso. So he lived in Arizona, and we got phone numbers. He speaks Spanish. I speak a little bit of English, so we just connect and talked. And he came home and he just talked to me. He said, "Man, you need to come over. You're real good. You gotta come visit." I said, "Man, I really want to." He said, "I live in Arizona. It's not too far from the NFR, Las Vegas." And I said, "I would love to come visit one day." So one day I just bought my ticket. I said, "I want to go over there," because he was in it at the World Series. And then they said, come watch. So I flew in, didn't know him. After we get done out there, just bought a ticket, flew in, went to Arizona, stayed with him. So him and his partner, the one supposed to rope at the finale, the World Series. So he's from Canada, Scott Tyler. So Scott came down, they start practicing. So I was there just helping and roping and just, get to know, having fun. I asked him after a week, I said, "Man, who's the professional guys lived around here? Or just roping. I want to just he said, "Oh, I know Koropetska, and then, Aaron St. Jean, Derek Begay, Rogers, all from Arizona, and Cesar de la Cruz, and he keep it on Matt Sherwood." And then he said, "Jake Barnes." I said, "Jake Barnes, do you know Jake Barnes?" Said, "Oh, yeah, I know Jake Barnes." I said, "I grew up with his oldest son, Anthony, and we used to be friends." I said, "Man, I grew up watching the guys' videos, him and Cleo and Alan Bach, Walt Woodard, but man, I love that guy." I said, my dream just to shake his hand and watch him rope one day. Those guys are unbelievable. I love Jake Barnes." So he picked up his phone, called somebody, get Jake Barnes' phone, call Jake. Say, "Jake, I had a kid out here, loves you, da 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 da." He probably heard that how many times, but Jake was super nice and he said, "Well, you're more welcome to bring him over one day just to meet me, Robert, but I have a roping school coming up this weekend. And after that, I got to go to Vegas. When I come back, you just bring him one day, no problem. But I'm not doing much. I'm just training horses. I'm not competing, nothing, but whatever." So Scott Tyler, the Canadian guy, he find out Jake having that school coming up was for Canadian guys only. So Scott called them, find out who was the guys that are going to Jake. It was a private deal just for the Canadians. So Scott called, get himself into the roping school as well too, and then go there for the first day. He said, "Man, Jake needs to meet you." And then he kept talking.
Mm-hmm.
"You got to go meet Jake. You need to live with Jake. You need to go see Jake. He and Jake can rope together." And then I laugh about it. So he goes the first day. It was supposed to be 3 days school. First day, he went rope. So the second day, he called me. The guy, I think Jake's neighbor, was working to shoot, and he couldn't work in the shoot the second day. So Scott called me and said, "Tomorrow's your chance."
Opportunity just rang.
Come rope in the shoot or bring your horse. We had a horse. I was riding Robert's horse. His name is Chocolate. His name, and I was practicing him. Me and Chocolate were ready. So I picked up Chocolate. We put in a trailer. And then I went out there and I just helped. I just worked to shoot, bring the steers. I was just happy just to be there. I was not even just to shake his hand. I have a picture. I might send it to you. The first day I went to Jake's house and took a picture. I took a picture with him.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. So, well, between the proxy, we were just running steers. They have like 5 or 6 pretty strong steers, supposed to be Jake's steers. So he went and get some slow ones for those guys, beginners and amateurs. So they were score every time. And I don't know, I think Scott kind of getting his mind. I couldn't understand. So then I was working the shoot, and they said, Junior, get on your horse. Junior, get on your horse. So I just run out there, get on my horse. Jake gonna spin you one. So I go over there. Jake is right in the box. So I went. Brazilian guy, a little slower. I jump out there, but I was running. I grabbed my phone and said, no, we need to video this. We need to video this. This thing.
We gotta watch this.
We need to watch this. We're not gonna miss it.
So people at home believe what I just.
I can't even believe what after be done. After be done, I want to be watching this thing over and over. It's just like so. So we rope like the steer. He just sticking on third. I don't know. He's going so fast, and I heal him in the alley. And then they go a few more, come back another strong one, and he come back, and they just stick it on and third him, and I heal him. So we run like 5 or 6 steers going fast. And I healed them, and the Canadian guys, they just want to have fun. They didn't care. Jake said, man, that's all for you guys. I don't care. So Scott bringing it that day. I was working to shoot. And then he talked to Scott, and he come talk to me. And he asked me what's my story, and he asked me, what my family did. And I told him about my dad passed away, and it kind of like touched his heart. And it's kind of crazy. And then he looked me in the eye. And he always just serious, stare at you, and he just talked to me, and it said, okay, listen to the story, talk to Scott. So we went home for the last day of school. He told Scott and I to be there earlier the next day. So we were there like 6 o'clock, 5:30. So we got there, he had the arena drug, and we roped like 15 steers practicing. Scott worked in the shoot, so we roped. We talked a little bit again. He said, man, we need to find a place to shoot just to stay here, And I told him it was my dream to come over to America one day and rope, but I was just coming visit. And I was very honored just to meet him in person because he's my idol and everybody else here too in America, but in Brazil. So I talked to Scott. He said, let's see what we can figure out. But then he just looked at me and said, man, all those guys rope really good. I've seen a lot of good ropers. But what about when you get close to those guys, man? They're good. Are you going to be scared? He told me I could understand that. I looked at him and I said, no, me not scared. That's what he said. Me not scared.
I love it.
But then keep it on the story. So I went to Vegas with Robert and Scott. And Jake also had to go to do some stuff over there, signing or sponsor things. So we haven't talked to Tony yet, Jake's wife. And he said, well, we find a way you come stay at the house. So she never told Tony about it. So we went, whatever they tell me, I'll just follow the plan. You know? So we went to Las Vegas, and it's crazy. And then Scott, the Canadian friend, he tells everybody, you see this guy? This is Jake's partner. They're going to be a 10FR next year. I'm just like, I really want to hide myself.
You're living the dream in a way, though.
Just stop it. People think you're crazy for sure. So he kept telling everybody, everywhere we go out there. See? So I don't remember exactly what round was. So the first time I get to go to watch, Scott took me. We got a bus from South Point. Went to the Thomas and Mack. So he finds somebody else, find the ticket. I sit down right next to the heel box. Out there.
Right next to the head box?
The heel box.
The heel box.
Right next to the heel box. I'll just sit out there. A little bit above. We're just there. And I'm telling you, I just remember just the feeling when I stepped in and they started the grand entry. My heart was beating. I was so scared just to step in that place, because we dreamed to watch the rodeo, and then I walk in there and then, man. So we sit down and Scott just elbowed this guy and say, hey, do you know Jake Barnes?
He's still promoting you.
The guy look at him. That's the guy gave us like sodas, the tickets.
Yeah.
He looked at him and said, "Yeah, I know Jake Barnes, man." He said, "See this guy here? He's going to Jake Barnes' house this week." And he said, "Man, I know Jake Barnes, and we sponsor Jake Barnes." And this guy looked and said, "Perfect. You better sponsor him too, because they're gonna next year they're gonna be here." And he just looked at me, This is and then it was true. So he looked at me. I said, "Oh my gosh, whatever." So we went after the watch, the whole rodeo. Went home, went back to the hotel, and Jake called Scott and Robert, talked to them, and he wanted to talk to me. And he said, "Did you watch the rodeo last night?" I said, "Yes, sir, I did." He said, "Did you learn something?" I just like, I don't know. He said, "You better learn something, because you're flying over here, because next year we're going to be down there. So you buy a ticket and fly over." So Scott and Robert helped me buy a ticket. I gave my suitcase. Only thing I brought from home was spur. Even the hat I had, I borrowed the hat from Robert. And I had $500 in my pocket. That's how I had. Flew into Arizona. Missed the first flight. So Jake picked me up. We swing by Robert's ranch, and his dad would pick it up, chocolate and the saddle and ropes, few ropes out there to start practicing on. And Jake brought me into his house, and just it was a really, really hard on me, but man taught me everything. And then we bought a horse. Jake bought a horse together. He bought a first horse, and that's how we started. And we went to a few places. As for the first year, it was kind of different. Nobody knew it. No, I didn't have a visa. I didn't change my visa. No, I didn't have tax ID or Social Security.
That's what I was going to wonder. How hard was it to get all that stuff?
It was hard, and but they only keep us in there because of Jake. So we went.
So did Jake have to do a lot of the
qualifier?
Paperwork?
Yeah, we went to the qualifier, but that's what happened. I bought my permit. They let him. It's fine. So I went to the qualifier, filled up my permit.
Is this Denver?
Denver qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Denver qualifier. I think it was the first place we went. We got qualified. So we came back. I bought my car the next day. And I think because that.
So you filled your permit at the first rodeo?
The first rodeo, yeah.
At Denver.
That's over there, Denver qualifier.
What I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Replaced. And so we came back. Jake bought my car the next day. But for some reason, they didn't process. I think because I didn't have social or anything else. That's what I assumed.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep going. And the whole story, they never had my card ready. And we keep going. And then we keep placing here and there, here and there, here and there. So in the middle of the summer, Jake had 11,000 more than I did. So we know 1,000 make a huge difference in the end. So I was missing 11 grand. So that was kind of like hard in the end. I ended up, and then Jake went home, find another horse. My horse got crippled. And then I didn't have no money. And then God would provide. I win something. And then we were going to California. I had a little good horse, Colt Brugman, find those horses. And we trade horses. I sold one. I bought Little Man. It's a good little bay horse, amazing. So at the Hork Dog, I didn't rope great that day. I had one good average kind of going. Me and Tom Richards, we buddy out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't really pick it up. Everybody going so fast. And me and Tom would just go catch 4. And the only top 15 would come back, or 20. I thought it was 15 that year. So I was kind of like upset, man, I didn't rope good. And I was kind of sad. I said, man, I don't think this deal here is for me, honestly. And then as soon as we go to California. I had enough money just to go to California, come back. I said, as soon as we get back, I'm going to head home. I want to see my family. I think I had enough of this, so this is not for me. So I'll just sit down over there on the side, just waiting to see if we make it back. And they keep calling every one of them, top 15 come back, and then keep telling every one of them. In the end, me and Tom ended up being high call. But it was just so tough, it's so tight from 1st to 10th. I think it was exactly pretty much the same average on 4. So we were the last ones to go. And I couldn't really understand very good. But the fastest time we had that day was like a 5.3 or 5.5. So the roping got so tough in the end. To win first place, we had to be 494, and to win last hole has to be like 530 or something like that, or 550. So I couldn't understand that. I just like, man. So then Tom, I remember we had a rat steer. Tom just kind of go with him, rope, turn, I heal him, people screaming. So I look back, the guy just walking to the barrier. I said, and Tom just keep loping down the arena. I'm a Brazilian. If we win, we celebrate. We flash the horse dog. We celebrate. Tom just look at me, just keep loping his horse down the pin. I said, for sure we got the barrier, But he went. So he went down, just put, we're last team out, we're done. So I looked down, that guy just ran to the barrier, just trying to undo everything. I just like, man, he got the barrier. So then the announcer said, the lady said, well, to win the roping, it had to be 494, and to place left had to be 550 or 530. And she said, Tom Richardson, Jr. Nogueira, you guys 490. Man, I'm just like, I'm telling you,
it's an adrenaline rush right there, wasn't it?
I went out there and I went to Jake Trailer and I hugged him, and man, I was just crying because it's not even just, I didn't have no money pretty much to just do nothing. And we won 20,000 a man. And to win that roping against all those guys out there, that
was all the guys. That's every one of them there. Absolutely.
It is, it was just me and Tom, two young guys, one from Brazil. Tom was coming up, rope amazing, and from Arizona. And man, that was one of the craziest things. And that little horse, after he came to California, he got crippled. So then I had a problem. We got a little bit of money won. We ended up winning Logandale, going out there to California. And then play some, and then one of the ropes I burned my hand, but then my little horse got crippled, and now we're in trouble. I don't have that much money, and we getting close later on to go somewhere. So we kind of I keep borrowing some horses in there and some friends out there, but didn't know much. So we're just praying. I said, man, if I had the money I have it just to start going to the summer, I need to get a horse. So that's the one day Jake trying to get some phone calls, call Sean Grant and everybody. We're just trying to figure something
Trying
out.
to look for a horse and all over, everywhere you can find one.
And I remember one day I walk outside by myself. I prayed. I said, Lord, if you want me to do this, just help me find a horse. I don't have that much. I don't have nobody else to ask. I don't have you. I don't want to be asking for people for money and rich people. So if you want to make this work like you've done, or just please help us find a horse or find a way to go. So one day, I was just helping Jake on the food, Jake just taking turning. Jake just got his phone. Say, hey, come over here. Come look at this. So we go over there, look at the horse. I kind of like it. Horse make a good turn. He's right here, my neighbor. So we went down there, tried the horse. Little sorrel, not super fast, but man, he could make a great turn. And I loved him. Short bobtail, no tail. So Jake said, what's the deal on this horse? And man, he might buck a little bit, got it. The guy to ride that horse kind of have to be a little cowboy. Maybe warm him up pretty good. So we're in there, I think Ramona, California, and all those. So Jake said, well, can we take him and try the rodeos? I said, yeah, take him. Travis Jackson, just take him. So we took him and we placed and won good. And I ended up buying him for $6,000. I bought Fireball for $6,000 and I rodeoed him the whole summer.
What was his name?
I call him Gino. Gino Fireball.
Gino Fireball.
And Jake would just get so mad. He was slower. But then, but this is how the first year went. And, but on the end of the season, I didn't have horsepower and then get really close. And you know how tough it is when you get in the end. We're all tired, stressed out. And even for me, first year, I didn't know anything and, kind of get scared, choked up. And
how hard was that your first year? That I'd read where your English was still, you're still working on your English. It was still hard.
Yeah, it's still would.
And don't know where you're at on any of this stuff, on where you're at on the maps. And then also, what was it like too of going through, because that's what you said it really good. A lot of people don't realize the stress at the end of the year. You're past the point of exhaustion. You're past the point of burnout. And then when things get tight, that's when people are like, well, how come these guys are switching here and there? Because after a while, when you're with someone for so long, it's hard. You almost even can't stand and hear each other breathe. And it's nothing personal. It's just that you're at that point.
That point, you're so stressed out. Yeah, we're tired. And then you start looking back, you just drive miles and miles and miles and miles, and you start thinking, we have how many rodeos left? We have whatever. We have 2 rodeos left, 5 rodeos left, and then you start thinking about, oh, what about if this guy do this, do that? And in the end, like I said, everything you just stress out, and you're pretty much done. But that's why I think the big thing it is, and the horsepower is a big, big fact on it. Because when you have great horses and you're not roping very good, or you need a little bit of help, that's when your horse
bails you out.
It bails you out and play big time when you save it. You can rely on your horse.
I think I read a saying one time. I think it was Popeye Boltinghouse. He was talking about Rich Skelton, and he was on one of Rich's videos that he'd had back in maybe the early 90s or late 90s. I forget which one it was. And he said, sometimes it's not how much you can win on a horse, but how much a horse can keep you from winning. Because when you're on that good one, it almost, they bail you out. And when you're on one that doesn't, you might have an easy shot, and then they might do something to make that shot, steal it away from you.
Some people will say we have some horses bring the money in, someone just spook the money out. That's true. And then he thinks like, man, some horses like, man, I don't know this horse that good, but we win every time. But then sometimes that horse just let you in, and then you got to keep those in. But on the end of the season, that's why like everybody just helped, like Patrick let me ride that horse, and then he sold to Cole. Cole let me ride him, and Jake, let me ride his horse on the last rodeos, and we buddy with Mr. Allenbach and Joe Bach, man. Mr. Al let me ride that yellow horse everywhere. I just had one horse.
What all horses did you ride that your first year, and who all let you on? And what do you feel like you learned from that?
Well, that's why I just I rode Mr. Al a lot, the yellow horse. Jaguar. I ended up riding him at 24 first year. So I rode Al's a lot, and I rode Patrick's old sorrel. I think it was Raider, probably. And then Cole Davidson bought him that sorrel Blaze Face. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Okay, yep.
Yeah, that sorrel Blaze Face. So that was a really good horse, and I get on and up riding. I rode some more. Jade let me borrow one of his horses on the end. I think Mudcat, want to be one of like Big Chestnut. That was it was pretty awesome of him. But it's not even let me ride in the last rodeos. But my horse couldn't run. He was already slow in the beginning, and when we get halfway through it, he just could not catch up. And Jake bought that 44 horse. And then Jake starts spinning every steer, man. I couldn't. And
when that guy gets mounted, his confidence level comes.
Oh my gosh! And he got that horse, Charlie, and he'll hit the line and just coil back and just spin steers every steer. I don't know how many steers Jake spun for me there, over and over, no barrier, and spun every single one of them. So that's what's really stressed out for everybody. But for me, I didn't know not. Now I'm getting close to making that for now. I'm scared I can catch one, and now I just like. And I remember the last rodeos we went to Omaha, I rode Mudcat there, took him for some rodeos, and then over there, where Amarillo, I don't remember exactly, but somebody picked him up. So we have to drive. We drove back from Omaha all the way to, what's the last rodeo? San Bernardino,
Stephenville, all those.
We didn't go to Stephenville, we go to Poway. So I jump on, past Tyler Getzweiler won. Jake spun a good one. I got a leg. Jake, like 5-5 win the rodeo. Jake just spun one to be 4. I legged it 4-9. Jake was mad. So San Bernardino, I get on Evan Arnold's horse. So we made a good run. Won like second or third out there. So we ended up saving my spot. But man, Jake just spun everyone everywhere. That guy's unbelievable. But just like
he's a warrior,
he's a warrior. Nobody's tougher than him. He's
totally
like
agree.
A father figure to me, and he's
that had to mean a lot. That had to mean a lot being able to come up to the States and kind of have a father figure, and then also be a legend. But that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of
hard, and he's tough too. He's intense.
And he's intense, and so that's a tough role for him too, because he knows how to win, but then he also has to help someone that's a little bit struggling on English, never been to the country. That's a lot.
I didn't have no idea where we're going.
Man, how grateful now looking back.
Oh,
what an opportunity.
Yeah, that's, I think I did learn probably 10 to 15 years in 2 years with him.
I would agree.
And I watched
a crash
him do
course.
Every single thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I watched him, and I helped him, and I tried to do the best I could just to see his work ethic, and he knows what needs to get done to win it, to be the greatest. And then and he's tough about it. He's hard at it, and he's hard on himself, and he roasts dummy all the time. He's intense.
And that was that era.
24/7.
That was that era. That era, they was hard. There were harder times, harder people, harder men, and he was a man. And when I remember just like when he would grind, even watching him rope, watching everything about him, like he just knew how to win, and that was his way. That was kind of that era. And it's cool to see now when you look at those guys.
One thing he done to me, I just don't remember exactly what it isn't in the season. So I'm really now, I drop, you get mad, upset to miss one. But now on that point, I wasn't in the season. I was just down. And I think it probably went to Kansas City. I don't know.
At the end of the year?
At the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jake Barnes, man. And I'm riding Mudcat Goody Horse. Jake just spun one. I don't know how I got a leg on that steer. We go like 4 or 5. I just like, God, then I'm done. I'm just down. Mm-hmm. So we go somewhere to spend the night, and I'm just down. I'm just like, say, what do you think? And he gets mad. He's pissed. I would be too, but not really. But he's just mad at me, just like, God, like a kid. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
And man, he just, now I'm down, and he figured I'm just down. I'm broken pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just said, man, what do you think? I said, man, I just say some bad things about myself. And then he said, no, what, Junior, I'm going to tell you so. Driving. And he's mad. He said, I never met your dad, but I heard he was a man. And he died inside a box trying to provide to his family. And now his son is out here trying to leave and have opportunity to pursue the chance of his life. And he's kind of wants to be crying and quit and being weak. I don't know what he would tell you right now. I wish I could ask him. That's all he said, man. Man, that thing is whatever he told me that day. He just like changed,
that changes your perspective.
Changed my life.
Yeah,
I couldn't really I was sad, kind of cried a little bit, but then just like, man,
that's real.
It's real. Never look at that point, Didn't have my dad. When my dad died, I was 6 years old. So I just like, but that's make a point. So here we need to be a man. He told me, if you see all those guys out there, they rope good. I said, yes, sir, they do rope really good. Look at me. I said, I'm old. Did you see that steer I spun out there? We could have won that rodeo. I'm still going to turn every one of them for you. So you be prepared because we're going to make it.
I love it. I love that era.
Unbelievable, huh?
Oh, I love that era. Because that's like he was a warrior. He was a guy that back in the day that he was somebody you followed into battle. And that guy to me too he was an artist. He truly was an artist because back in his day, no one really had a blue book on how to head steers and heel steers. Those guys did it one steer at a time, lining up those head horses, lining up those heel horses, running them. And I mean, they figured out how to win by doing it. Nowadays, look at the technology, look at the videos, the GoPros.
What we're doing right now, like people following rodeo and jackpot, roping schools, or anything on Brazil and in the whole world. What we're doing here, they have translators, they have, and I just remember myself just trying to look up some stuff on the computer when they got a computer. So I remember one time I found a radio deal was a live streaming. So I'll just put a deal in my ear, try to understand what's going on. Team rope and just hear the names, just trying to figure it out. Well, that's the whole thing, man. Now people just sit down there, recliner and then watch it. Cowboy Channel, watch every roping school, somebody helping to, translating. But that's why I think those guys were the greatest, Charlie. Because what I seen, the older guys, Jake, Clay, Albot, Walt Woodard, help me if I forget one of them, but just to see them in the last few years rope and how they probably roped against the young guys and they're older.
Yeah.
They're almost 60 years old. Some are past 60 now, but like Cleo, Halen Steers almost won gold buckle. Halen Steers better than I watch it live. I just like, golly, that guy's almost 60 years old. Allenbach, Halen good, It's just like if we get ourselves, so we're great. But man, I don't know if we could do that until we get close to get 50, 60 and come over here and just try to do it again.
That's what I love about team roping is there's a lot of mental game to it, a lot like golf. But you have to learn how to do it. You got, everyone's foundation is the same. You got to be able to ride, you got to be able to rope, but their knowledge that they gained through those years to learn how to win. And then you think about those guys at 60 years old. I mean, what steer could handle that Clay Cooper hasn't seen, and they've done it so much and so many times they can read so many situations. And, Clay did such a good job of keeping himself in shape, and so did Jake. And, those guys, they had that warrior mentality, and they kept Father Time away probably as long as anybody in rodeo.
Man, they are tough. They're warriors, like you said. They're just unbelievable.
So you grew up in Brazil roping a lot of muleys, right? Is everything muleys down there, or do they have horns down there as well?
They do have some horns, but it's different. It's a bigger cattle. Now they just start raising some, trying to get closer to American, but mainly we just rope Bremers mixed. They're just the bigger cattle. We have a little bit of ramp on that and long legs. And
what do you feel like the difference was? You feel like coming from Brazil up here, the different hops, the different handles.
Everything's different. The handle, the hazing, and everything. The hops and they're super fast here. They have short legs. They're super fast. Now we got some bigger. They say, we got some bigger mules out there. They run. It's different. They run fast. They have really long legs. So the timing is way, I would say, easier, but it's different. But I hear they just, you get some Mexican steer, a native heifer, small, when they're strong. They're fast. They hop fast. So it's a huge difference. Change. I remember when we went to Odessa first year, they had that big roping out to sit out there by myself.
What year was that?
I was in 14.
Because I remember seeing
14, you'll see that there.
Had a white hat and a sorrel, short-tailed horse, if I remember right.
I think it was a long-tailed horse, but we had the first sorrel I have. It was a little green.
That's what it was. But I remember when you healed, I've never seen somebody so excited when they were done. And I loved it. It was so, I was like, you stuck out because I'm like, that guy's pumped.
Everybody make fun, but it's true.
It was great, though. That's exciting.
That's on the second round.
That's what
we had the steer go left so hard. That steer goes straight left, and he was fast. And Jake said, we have that steer, you're going to go straight left, and he runs. So, man, that steer went left. Jake Barnes just strode coil back, and that steer was fast. So I tried to go around him kind of close by the wall, and Jake had to come back. And, man, just to rope that steer for me is just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We go like 4-8 horses on the wall place. That was just that was the dream for me. That was one of the best shots I ever for my my perspective out there.
Because you weren't no slouch when you first came up here. I mean, when you look at your Brazilian stats, you won 9 cars, 2 horse trailers.
Yeah, 54 motorcycles. Yeah.
So how's the prize line down there?
Yeah, they give some money, but most of them they just give motorcycles, cars, horse trailers,
things you can
small
use.
motorcycles. Yeah, and then we end up selling it right away, or even the ropers, director, the producer, just buying or whatever, just sell it, put a new rope in, or so that's why they kind of like bring attention. Oh, we're gonna give 10 motorcycles, a car for the first place. Now they give trucks, and that's why they just kind of. And then some money, but that's a little back then, and still a motorcycle, horse trailer. So that's but talking about the steers and the difference. I remember like talking to this when I sit down, I see Clay O'Hill steer had one strong Mexican steer. I think Chad Masters had, and when he turned that steer, he was hopping so fast. It's just right. I was just watching him, and that guy swing that rope so fast. I couldn't see that. I couldn't realize when to throw the rope in that steer. And he roped him and hit Deli jackpot lock. He stopped him right there. I just said, man, how that guy find the timing on that cow? And he meant it. He didn't just throw the rope. He knew what he was doing. I couldn't even. I'm trying to find an open spot, watching
that
close.
That shot was premeditated. He knew exactly how to.
He just roped a jackpot. Just man. It's not like, oh, he had to throw because he had to. No, he meant to throw that rope in jackpot lock, and he just almost break that son of a gun's legs.
Yeah.
I just my goodness, they're fast.
Yeah,
that's cool. Unbelievable.
So you made it your first year in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to the NFR, and didn't Jake have some? Didn't he get in in a wreck or a horse fall?
That was in the second air. The first we rope, we went up winning second on average. Had a good.
So everything was good going into 2014.
Yeah,
then
kind of like little.
So what was that? I mean, it's one thing right there to go through, what you've gone through, $500 in your pocket, going through all the different things, but then you make it. That first NFR, what was that first NFR like for you?
And I'm telling you, Charlie, it was
for you and your family.
Yeah, my mom got to come, and everybody's there. My wife now, she was my girlfriend out there. But to rope my first year, I was so nervous, like very nervous. Everybody been. So then I walk in and ride my horse. Good thing I was riding Mr. Al horse. He was so good in the box, super quiet. So I'm just like, man, I just need to focus and like trying to get ready, and that steer keep fighting and shoot. And then I look around to see all the people. It's pretty much like you watching TV or playing a video game, because I watch that thing over and over on TV. And then I just I almost stopped, couldn't focus. Like I couldn't really get control of my mind. I was just kind of wants to look around, and the steer kept fighting to shoot. And I was like, man, pay attention, be ready. It's going to happen right now. He's going to nod. So then I'm just like, okay, I'm concentrating. I'm trying to watch it. And I'm just look to the left. Jake Barn has his rope up with his cowboy hat stuck on his head. His ears just pointing out.
He's all in it.
And he's
all
mad.
Up
And
in
he
it.
look at me, and I just look at his face. I said, man, for sure it's not for real, because I'm at the NFR. All those people are here in this yellow arena. I always dreaming to rope a steer. And then I look to the left. I have Jake Barnes about to turn the steer. That's for sure is a dreaming story. I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
So then that's crazy. So the steer fought the shoot, went down, would not stand up. He did not. So we ended up roping before calf roping, I think. So I was even Classic done the story. I was speaking in Portuguese. They have the translation on the bottle. And or probably I done in English, I don't remember, but that's the most amazing time of my whole life and two roping history when I run that steer. Because I always told my mom, I said, one day I'm gonna make it, you guys are gonna be down there, and I did run that steer, and then we go 4-9, place third or fourth in the round, and
on the first one.
Jake
That's
Barnes
awesome.
was a steer, huge horns. Jake was stuck and turned, and
You give the rear back.
I get the rear back. I rear back, pull back for Jesus hard, and man, it's just that was probably
It's a good feeling, isn't it?
That was just that's kind of I kind of get emotional talking about, but just to see it's all in 4 seconds, almost 5, when he knocked that steer when running and walking back the arena, less than 10 seconds, it's just a movie went through my mind. Just being the kid roping steers inside the corrals out there, and my pony tried to hail him, and then now roping the guy, and just to see how God is good to you and faithful when he had he kept his promise to you.
All those hard moments, all that stuff. I remembered when I remember when I finally made the NFR, and it was hard not to rewind almost your whole life.
Just crazy, even for me on that steer when I
where
just
God is almost walking you through what He's done for you.
When I went, seriously, when I roped that steer when I'm Nelly, and I pointed to my mom. I was just I'll just sit down on the little stairs out there, and I'll talk to mom, just looking up and say, one day I want to make it. You're gonna be there watching, mom. You guys gonna be down there. And then when I really run and rope that steer, and just I was just I love it, unbelievable. I remember riding. I had a little pony. Sometimes though we didn't have steers back then. All I wanted to rope was 10 years old, 11 years old. I'm so ride your pony. Had this guy far away had arena. He would let me rope a little bit. So I ride this pony. I'll lope him. That son of a gun. 5 miles. I would lope him. After school, I would get on him. He's shouting the pony. I'll just give him. He's pretty small. I'll ride him. I'll lope him 4 or 5 miles to get there to run 1 or 2 steers. And I was happy as one can be. And I would just slide my pony when I get there, and then they just laugh about it. I'll run 2, 3 steers, and then I'll leave the pony down there and turn out in the pasture. They'll give me a ride home. I'll went and go get the pony after a day or 2, and then I'll do it again. And just and I was happy as one can be. Just to be out there, to be able to rope 2, 3 steers, and just be there in that environment with those guys. But that's true. I remember when I walked out of the arena, I never even told that, but when I was loping, could hear my pony loping. Because I would lope him. I would lope him. I would lope him all the way to there.
Yeah, it's fun to reflect and see that, and then all of a sudden you look in and you are literally in the yellow arena. That's a great story.
Yeah, that's a good
and wrote
story.
good that year, second in the average. And I remember too, I think I first seen you too, like when you really started like catching a lot of the eyes. One year rolling with Jake when I seen you at Odessa and how excited you got. But then you were making you were starting to pull off shots. You were starting to be somebody that everyone started keeping their eye on you. And I think it was the American, if I remember right. And you and Jake went through and maybe did you make it to the Final Four?
We made the Final Four.
And I remember the shot you pulled off to get to the Final Four. And when I'm saying you reared back, that was more rare back than I had ever seen in anybody. But that was a shot. That was a shot.
Yeah. Jake was going for a million.
And that's when I think the world seen Junior.
I rode, yeah, that's true. I rode Tommy Zuniga's horse. Mm-hmm. I rode him, Tommy Zuniga, and then Joe would have made it. So I called Tommy, and
so you're rare back. Where did that start? Well, how did that come about? Is it like when you pull off? Because I head and I heel terrible, but when I do heel one, I want
a rare back.
Yeah, I do. I do now, but I'm scared my back will go out. My back never was very healthy anyway. No. But is it an excitement?
It's exciting. Well, it is. Like I had a guy back home. He used to do it. Sometimes when we were little, we all play in the dummy and do it. Like play and rear back and lay down and then we just start doing it just to save for special shots, kind of short goal. We want it, something. And so he used to do it, and then we watch him a little, and then we play, and then he kind of helped me a little too. Run rope, and he roped really good healer back in the day. Rope beautiful. He was the only one guy that would swing really fast, and you could hear his rope, and nobody kind of open swing and a little slower everybody. And man, that guy he lived the box. He almost like Clay, would go, and it's wow, and he roped good, and he helped me a little bit. So I try to watch all those guys, a little bit. But then that's why they're funny. But the deal is, I never done that much. But some on the short round, some special, really special shots. Most of them short goals. So when I moved out here, this young kid from Brazil,
almost every shot is special up here.
So, it is. But then I moved over. This little kid before the American, he find a lot of videos like on YouTube. It was like, wow, YouTube. So he put a deal on YouTube. Junior went to America. So he wrote in English like, Junior Nogueira, one of the best in Brazil, $500,000 in winnings and da, da, da. So he put a lot of them. Pick it up. That's when they start videoing and stuff the year before. So we kind of have more little technology back home. So he put a lot of short go runs, and it was like 4 or 5 minutes just me rearing back on horses. So people watching, what the heck is this going
the phenomenon.
on? This guy's crazy. What's going on? Jake got mad, but I just I don't do it every time. But then everybody would make fun, so it's fine. I couldn't say nothing. I said, look bad. That's okay. But I said, one day I'm gonna have a chance, and I'm really gonna pull back on, and everybody will see it. So that's the one, the American.
Yeah.
That's the first time I did it.
I'm a fan of excitement. I really am. Because I know, for me, like when I did something good, like, dang it, I want to feel this. I want to be excited about it, and to watch you, it was fun to watch because I was excited for you, and I didn't even know you very well. I was just, it was cool because when you did it that good and that hard, I was like that kid wants to be here.
Yeah,
it was cool. So in 2015, after you make it, had a great year. Roping with Jake again in 2015. You make it again in 2015. What do you feel like from 2014? Because it wasn't your ability, I don't believe, where some of your struggles came at the end of the season. There was something you learned from that. It was either mentally, there might have been a little flaw here and there, but didn't look like there was many struggles in 15. It looked like you learned 15, so much in 14.
I think 15, I did. That was easier for me. That's why when I kind of get more like comfortable. And then we will me and Jake will rope a lot. We're making the run over and over. We just
what do you feel like the 14 helped with the 2015?
I think just being able to be into seeing everything, because first time it's kind of hard. You're just like never been nowhere, and then you just see different. So where are we going? So I'll try to find out videos on YouTube, see where's the arena that you open or place or Logandale or whatever. You go to Cheyenne, how is it? Just it's completely different, and we know how when we go, Charlie, every NFR is the best. Whoever is the best that week gonna probably have a big chance to win it. But through the year, it's NFR is one setup. But through the whole year, we go how many different setups? Long bear, short bear,
Fresh
arenas on the
cattle,
side,
old cattle.
fresh cattle, old cattle, like arena close to the wall on the left. We go both leaving two guys exactly the same side, one, the other side, the other one.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just like, man, in the way we go one place is raining and a little colder, and then we drive back, go to the Texas, you're 110.
Mm-hmm.
Your ropes don't feel the same. So it's just like, wow, it's a big difference. But just have been through those places the first year, I think, and making it kind of give me like more, open my eyes a little bit. But then I had some help. We got to buy a green card. I called Rob. We'll find a black horse.
Yeah.
So that's one I think changed a lot. So he fit me really good. And I think that helped a lot. And then I could follow Jake more. So then Jake would have given that shot. And then I started getting more confidence. And then I watch the best guys the whole time too. I watch them close. I was in Arizona League for 2 years. Watch Corey, watch Caesar, come over here, watch Jade. Would watch the greatest ropers, Cleo. I'll just watch videos, and whatever I had a chance to watch him, he was there. I'll just make sure to run out there and watch it, because I want to see what the greatest guys are doing. So help kind of build my deal and just watch the greatest and be close to them as well. Kind of.
How great of a mentor. I know Jake had to be hard, but also at the same sense, some of the best guys in the world that healed behind him. 2014, the amount that you learned, and in 2015, I mean, his leadership skills, I would say, because like I said, I was from a lot of that era, so I understand it. They're hard men. But man, when you get through that training program of his almost, and then I seen how it developed in 15. You were mentally strong, you were physically strong, and your experience you were gaining.
I think I roped really good in 2015.
It was.
I roped good, I roped good. That's 2015. I think me and Jake, we probably went. That's kind of when they think shorter bears a little bit, maybe that year. And he had a younger horse. But I think we roped like almost 40 steers in a row with the rodeos without a miss one. He would have spun in the whole level. And then we go jackpot, and then we go and Spicer Grip. Then we go Arizona, we do good at the ropings, against like Rogers and Patsky. Then we start kind of develop a run and catching up and start feeling good. And then, man, he feels young again, and he just keeps sticking.
Because it is almost like Navy SEAL training with him. Because that was kind of how that era was. And then, like I said, it worked because you were mentally strong enough. And what, so you guys went in a good spot in 15, if I remember right, in a good spot.
15 went up going, but he got hurt. I think.
And then when did he get hurt?
I think we're top 10 or something. Yeah. So then I had to kind of like, Caleb asked me to rope. That was the hardest thing I'd done in my life. I have a couple guys kind of ask me this and that. And then Caleb was healing that year. I didn't have a second partner. I was roping Turtle Paul. The second Turtle was good dude. And we did good some too. We played some ropers here and there. So I don't think Turtle went on some roping. So I ended up roping. Caleb he was healing, so he didn't have no, I think, second partners. I don't know. So he would have had someone had a chance. So we went, I don't remember exactly, but I think me and Caleb ended up roping 2015 at the George Strait. I think it was the first place we went. And he went stick one. I was behind. I was hoping we go a little down. And he just sat inside the box. I was just trying to catch up, caught him, come back the next one. He just did the same thing. I hit him fast. So we made it back to the George Strait. So that year was like not super fast yet. But we know on the final 50, top 50, if we go 4 in the first year, we had a big chance. So we go like 4-7. And then only 3-4s in the first round. So come back. We had one seater really runs and one slower. So everybody told us it's the fast one. So Caleb now does slower. So Caleb had to pull and lets you go rope, and he pop it off. So we come back, win the red wrap steer. In the last one, we go like 3-something. When, like, that was a hell of a, he just take our rope. So after that, we kind of, when I had a chance, I didn't have second partners. Turtle Paul wasn't going. So Caleb would text me, I'll get ahead horse. You want to rope in this rope? And I said, okay. So I started roping with Jake and him, this ropers, and then we just would outplace Jake and would win at Caleb. Me and Caleb caught would win it. So I don't even know. I stay away from the whole, deal conversation. But the people just start talking. Oh, Caleb Jr. roped together those three guys, and then not. So in the end of the whole 2015 season, Caleb really texted me and said, "Dude, I don't understand, but if you want to rope, you move to Texas. Yeah." And I had friends out here, and I knew all right by then. I knew all the guys, the best ropers live around too. The little small rope in Austin. Go around every day competing against the best. So me and Caleb were just roping out there, just some ropings in place and this and that, and he really kind of asked me to rope. Man, that was the hardest thing to do, because man, I just. But then the same thing, I just like pray about a lot. But I just thought about it. I said, man, the reason we're here because we have opportunities and but just to tell Jake and everything he done to me, I knew it would just break his heart. But I just thought about it. I said, you know what? That's how I thought. I was by myself, but now I had my little trailer truck and had 2 horses. I'm just like, if it wouldn't work, it's fine. At least this guy everybody talks about, he's one of the greatest, can be one of the great guy, young and ropes good. I was just like, if it wouldn't work, at least I tried. And then, so I just, after a while, and then, man, I told him, and he kind of upset, That's true. And plus, like, he understood, but he's pretty upset because everything he done for me and this and that. And that was just, like, hard. So I did come over down to Texas. I didn't know English still that much, and I could get along. I could start driving, was taking on places by myself. So then I came over. End of the season, I came down to Fred's friend of mine. He lives in Burleson. So I move into his house to rope and sled Werner. So I stayed there. I'll go to Caleb Prox and come back. Start going to rope prints here and there. So I get ready to go to Arizona. So I moved. I talked to Jake a little bit, and he's kind of mad still. I understand. But then I went to rope at the Prox for the NFR. So I went down. I want to go back to Arizona. Kind of like I used to Arizona. So I went down and I knew Sean Grant. I spent a lot of time with Sean Grant when I was living at Jake's too. Every time I had a chance, I go with Sean Grant. It's amazing. One of the greatest horsemen. Ropes good. So I just want to help Sean turn the steers and help him with the young horses and watch him ride and ask him questions. And I always still do. I call him and talk to him all the time. So I just stayed at Sean's, and Jake was kind of upset. I don't know if we're going to set up my NFR arena, so I understood. So then I stayed out there, Sean's, but I went to Big A in St. Eugene. So I was like a week before we leave. So I was there already, went to some ropings, and then I would go and I'll rope for Big A in the morning. And then as soon as Big A would be done, St. Eugene would show up. So I probably run 200, 300 steer a day. So I didn't have no horses. So they said, man, I rope with you, but I have no horses. I said, how you doing? I'm going to practice with me. So they each one had their own set of steers for the NFR. So then Big A would leave. He would bring a few horses extra. I'll run my good one, run a few and be done. So then St. Eugene would come down, go over there, dress up and call some guys that I'm telling you, he horse would show up somewhere from dress and would run steers after steers. And I run. We done like 3 or 4 times. I had a breakfast only, nothing else. We'd be done at night. It's just roping for those 2 guys and getting prepared. So then Jake called me one day and said, hey, I set up there in the far arena of the wall, just come run some. So I went and roped with him. We roped a few steers, 1 or 2 right when we started. So he roped and the horse, like during the turn, through the turn, he roped and we're not even going fast. He just stick it on it and start rolling like he always do. That horse kind of went down slow and then went down completely. And he hit his head really bad in the ground. And the horse jumped and took off, kind of run over him again. It's kind of like kicking or stumping him in the head. That was really bad for me. He just got a bad wreck. And we called an ambulance, and it was bad for like 10, 15 minutes. And shoot, man, I was just pretty sad, just to see what happened. And then we were praying, and he finally started coming back. And he finally come back. Didn't know nobody was. He said, "Who are you? Get out my place." He knew his dog. He didn't know me. Said, "God dang,
Wow.
this guy love his dog, but he don't like me anymore." When he finally come back, I said, "Hey."
Oh,
No,
man.
this
He was
dog-
down. He went out hard.
That dog was worth way more than me that day. That week.
Now he's saying all the things he wanted to say.
But but that one he came back. And then finally came back, but he was bad.
Yeah.
I was just praying. I thought he was dying.
Mhm.
Seriously. So he finally came back. "What's up, Junior? What happened?" "A horse went down." "Dang, he went out there, caught his horse, get on and go back to the box." So we already heard all the ambulance and everybody coming. The neighbors come. Everybody came over. Mr. Pete, he was over there watching our
Mhm.
neighbor. So he called the ambulance, and when we hear, so I'll wait. And he looked at us, "Hey, you get a rope or not? If you're not get out of the arena, I'm roping by myself." I just like, "Man, you don't know what happened. You're bad. You need to go to the doctor." Get out of the arena. I roped them by myself. So I go over there. He's over there sticking up the steers. We're up 2 steers, I think.
Wow.
Right after, and an ambulance showing up, and we go stick one, make a run. He go over there, fix the horse, come back, stick another one. I said, "This guy, he's not good." So the ambulance come over and said, "Man, I'm fine." So the guys out there, they get off, talk to Mr. Pete, and then they start asking questions. I said, "Jake, just go over there. You gotta put it up some paper so they can lead." So Jake just go over there, hold his horse, take his boots off. So they start asking Jake questions, and then he couldn't remember. So then they say, "You better go." So I trying to call Tony through that whole thing. So he went, and he had a bad concussion, really bad.
Mhm.
His brain was bleeding 3 different spots, and he broke his leg, and then that was bad. That's when he couldn't
Broke
make
his
it.
leg and he was still sticking him.
No, he broke his leg. He was bleeding. He couldn't remember Tony's name. Couldn't remember the name. He got on there. He stuck too. I'm telling you, he stuck too fast. We made 2 really good runs, and I'm just like, I'm in shock. I'm just like, I couldn't believe he was just on the horse roping right after all he's been through. So he went, and then he was bad. So he couldn't go to NFR. That's when that's when JoJo. It was the 16th.
He was the
that year.
16th header, and that's when
That's
JoJo
when
got in.
JoJo
You
got
guys
in,
paired up, and you
right
guys
there.
lit him up.
That was probably one of the funnest year. I just said, because I really, my goal that year was to win the average. I really want to win the average, just for Jake and for all that, and for myself. This like goal is, because Jake is an average guy. He stay hooked average. And man, I wrote JoJo broke one barrel. We placed in every round. That I think we placed in 8 out of 10. One he lost his rope, one we got the barrel, but we had a chance to set the record. And but JoJo asked me like last night. He said, "You want to just go over there and knock him down for a gold buckle, get you one?" Because that pretty much, if I would have stopped the clock, I would have won the average, guaranteed. If we would go faster than 17, we would have won the average. Me and JoJo, and a lot of stuff would happen. But Cleo had to win. If I win the average, Mr. Clay had to win the round, and Mr. Clay would have won first place. He would have won the gold buckle over me for 500. And Colin had a chance. Mozart had a chance too. But it's all kind of, I just like, you know what? But I just told him, I said, "Man, you know what? I don't know if I was smart or just too innocent." But I think that's what I had in my heart. So, you know what? We've been roping aggressive the whole time, and you have a chance to. Because we knew my mom and all that, they done all the numbers. If JoJo would have placed 5th or higher, JoJo, and we won the average, JoJo was a world champion as well, come from 16th. And we had a little stronger steer, but JoJo, I think this last moment, he turned his head right when JoJo nodded, that's he turned his head.
Threw the timing off.
Threw the time off.
Yeah.
But he just stuck him, and he just went over the saddle just a bit, and then he kind of gave it a wrap, and he lost his rope. But
yeah, you guys were lighting them up. It was fun to watch. That was fun to watch.
It was fun because every time they announced their names, the people start screaming, and JoJo just... I'm already kind of excited guy, but JoJo's even excited and aggressive. So that's fun. That was fun. And we kept catching and rolling, and good ones we just knock them, kill them, and the bad ones we just catch every one of them.
Yeah.
Like
JoJo's a playmaker.
Perfect.
He is a playmaker, man. On that head side, he can handle that rope. He can pull off shots, and And then when there's two playmakers on the team, when it connects, man, it is fun to watch.
That was fun. That was fun. That guy rode phenomenal, and that was fun. That was a fun NFR.
Yeah.
Good NFR, still great. Could be.
So then 2016 rolls around.
Mm-hmm.
So who now are you lined up with?
So now I'm roping Caleb, but then we started a little bit. They had the year 8 thing.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to one rodeo, one Rapid City, and placed in the first round in the Fort Worth. And then they had that deal where everybody got stuck and had that thing going on. So then we couldn't go nowhere. So it's kind of hard. We went to area rodeos, but had that problem with PRCA. PRCA had a lot of rodeos, so I kind of decided, man, we kind of need to get back on it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So then when we come back, we had, I don't know, I think we had 5,000. They gave us the 5,000. We had one because we won Rapid City, but it didn't, I don't know if it doesn't matter if they didn't pay us back then. But we had 5,000 going. And then we start, I don't know, I think we started in June. That was June, the mid of June, I think. And then, and then in 2016, when I bought Haley right after a wildfire. I always loved them, Marion and Colin. We become great friends.
Mm-hmm.
We buddy Luke and Colin. When Colin won Luke and Colin, we buddy Jake. So the 2015, so we become buddies. It was fun. And I bought them here, and then I had Haley and Green Card.
That Colin's done a good job producing heel horses.
Oh, he was.
Those horses, they know their job, and he does a good job of helping them find it and helping them understand it, and they go on. And
he built a great.
Every time I've seen someone get on him, it looks easy for them.
Oh, he knows exactly what a good one is, and he know how to train him and make him get him broke just right, and just pat him and. He's one of the greatest in the business. It's
I agree.
Not because my friend, but to make a rope horse Collins.
I agree.
He's the greatest.
Yeah.
And so then I bought Haley. We started. She was a little different. And then Mary helped me a lot to become more professional, more Americanized. Because she was huge, big, different. I had to really be perfect. So then we just rode pretty much. I rode her everywhere. And we rode. Caleb rode that big sore horse called Doc. We used the other horse just a little bit, Green Carter, but we took them almost everywhere, and we just went every single place.
I remember that.
Like crazy.
And caught up fast.
We caught up fast.
You caught up real fast that year.
We ended up being number ones in the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I had a chance to play for our round a little bit. So they had 8 rodeos and had to rope cast. So that's how I'd have done it. I was a nerve wreck too.
Yeah.
To just trying to win 3,000. Oh man, it was hard. Maybe it was easier to win 30 than 3. I did it in the last minute. Ended up working good. We didn't end up not winning that gold buckle, but ended up winning the all round first. And I really wanted to hear
that. Had to be pretty cool when your dad roped calves and the calf rope would kind of help you get that first title, because that all around title is a big title.
And it's huge. Like I kind of like, I didn't really, honestly, didn't care back then. I was so mad because I wanted to win the healing.
Yeah.
I was just like, And then, man, that's cool to win. But I never thought like, oh, okay, I just roped in the last moment. But that, plays, like you said, for the last, my family, Cowboys, it was
Brazil had to be proud too, for all around.
Happy. And then, man, you got to be proud. And I wasn't. But after I really realized, man, how hard it is to win, God gave it to me, a chance at the last moment. And I was supposed to be, but how hard it is to win all-around title.
Yeah.
It's how important it is to just more than one event, and everything has to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following years we did good. Then
I tell you what, 2016 was a huge marker, I think, for you and Caleb, because you guys, like I said, they pulled all that money away from you. I forget when you guys started back up. Maybe it was June.
It could be
and
June.
Then you guys go in like number one. That's all. You guys had that chemistry look. Like you could tell, like when you two roped together, that had that look like the Jake and Clay, the Speed and Rich, and 2017 looks right alongside of it.
Good. 2017. Yeah, that was man. And we keep pushing. Good. Had a good year.
And then you guys go in the NFR. You had a good year, and you guys are right there in the world title ranks again.
Too, but never
and then was it 9th round? Was that when you guys tied the arena record?
Ninth round. That was
I got it right here. Let's see.
That was 17. That's what I think.
I think it was round 9, wasn't
That one's Corey one. That's true. Yeah. That was the battle of the whole year.
This is Doc and the green card.
This is Dre. This is Dre green card.
Oh, Dre, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean tight. First hop. Done.
I couldn't believe it turned down for.
And then green card had a signature move of himself right there, didn't he?
Man, I'm telling you. Oh, shoot. Yes.
I mean, the line tight. First hop and then done. Oh, yeah, that's hard to do it any faster than that.
I'm telling you, that shit was fast to time.
The rare. Yeah. Yeah, that was a rank run.
Yeah.
But when Green Card made his signature move in front of the entire world and 18,000 people
I'm telling you, I'll be very honest to you. That ended up way better than it's supposed to. Cause
it did. But she was wrapped up for a second.
Hey, listen. So I wrote, when I look back, we're 3-3, man, like I was just going. Now everybody wrote fast, and those guys already wrote 3-3 again. We see faster runs outside, even in that front. But man, we always watch that Chad and Jade run, even in Brazil, over and over and over and over. Mm-hmm. So we need to go around. When we go 3-3, I couldn't believe it. And everybody freak out. So I went to just celebrate. I don't know. I got too not too aggressive, but man, the green card, he not even spun around. He kind of spun his butt around me fast.
Just rolled you outside.
And he rolled me outside, and then his face comes to me. And then I know, and I was just looking the time. When I look again, I'm looking straight to the roof. I just, holy, what's going on? Felt like he was just like wearing up and then this buck, and I was just like, and then I went to grab the center horn. I missed him. I missed the center horn. So when I went over the center horn, then I have the reins, so I hold the reins. Good thing he's
the reins let you kind of find your feet.
Good thing he's not a super green card is not very broke. The rest of them are super, super broke. Good thing green card is not super broke, because could be really, if it was hailing, I'm telling you.
That was a run,
That'll
man.
Be very crazy.
That was a run. That run will go down as one of the fastest ones I've ever seen. And it's hard to watch that run, because when the line popped off, the rope went on, when the first top came and it was tight, it's like, man, how could you get faster?
I know.
You know, that was so rank.
Class 2 too. And that's crazy. Like I owned that steer. We bought that steer.
Did you buy him?
Uh-huh. Yeah. And everybody like, oh, I told you, like, I don't think that steer never been real longer than 4 flat. He went in the first round. They go 3-9, 3-9. And 3-3, so I bought him. We pick him up right after, and you put him to shoot. Now he's still big, but he looked like a racehorse. You put him to shoot, he put his nose to shoot, and then he just don't move. When that get bangs, he's fat. So we never roped him anymore. So he's at the house big. And
did you name him?
We call him 3-3.
3-3.
He has his brand is at 23. So I say a little faster would be 3-2. I reversed the numbers, but no, call him 3-3.
I love it. So then you and Caleb, after that, you guys split up a little bit after that.
2020. We go 2016, 17, 18, 19 too. And then all those years I ended up being second every year. I went number 1 going into the NFR, and I had a good NFR every year. So, like, between those years, we had a good finals, but never ended up winning the gold buckle. So we split it up, and then he rode with Corey in 2020. And
then in 2021, y'all partnered back up again, correct?
2021, yes.
What kind of brought that back together, do you guys feel like?
Man, I don't know. I think it's meant to be, honestly. Like, he was roping I roped the snow on the 2020 rough year. He had more money, won, and went up making the NFR. Had a decent finals, not great, was completely different. At the Arlington, but it was good. Very hard year. No road, just had to drive a lot. So me and Cody did get ropings too. It was fun. So and Caleb, after he's done with Corey, he was roping at the Torp. And Torp and Snow had some stuff going together, and then they some stuff where they had to come back and then rope together. So it's like meant to be. Me and Driggers got kind of left on. We pick it up, trash together, but not really. But we kind of like, that's why I ended up. So he had Snow and them. I don't remember when was it. they just had this deal going on, and it was a good deal for both of them. And they roped
Yeah, I
great
remember that.
together. They
Yeah,
all
and they're a
on the
great
road
team.
the first year, they're a great team.
There's a
Had
sponsor
good
deal. I remember.
chemistry.
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah.
could be. And then they end up back in roping together, and me and Caleb left. And they said, well, let's rope. So I think we started the BFI. First time we roped, we didn't do good. And then we start roping again, and then then that year was.
Did this start feeling like an old hat or a glove that just fit?
It's kind of honest, it was better. Kind of like more, that was like, it was better. We went different ways. Maybe each other, he couldn't see, better. And then when we come back, we'll see we couldn't maybe miss a little part here and there to be better, to help more
And
each
it came
other.
together.
Maybe just like came together. When we came back, say, oh, maybe can do better. And Rope and Snow understand some more stuff. And he Rope and Corey and Thorpe probably changed little things here and there. But when we came back together, we got a run. Took a little bit home, man. We got to run back together.
Because in 2021, didn't y'all set the season single winnings record?
22.
22.
Because it was a little late, but 2021 we did good. I think I ended up going number one. Caleb was second, probably. But we had a good finals that the first year we won it. We won the gold buckle, first gold buckle on Team Rope in 2021.
So you said that when you won the all around in 2016, you're still mad that you didn't win the Heelan.
Mm-hmm.
So then in 2021, a world champion from Brazil that went through all of this stuff. And when you see that gold buckle, talk to me about that.
Man, that was like I celebrate a lot, get excited about it, but I dream my whole life and a lot of hard work and just I think when I really pick it up, that was just when I got that buckle, it's just like, it didn't change anything on me, but I was really happy I was so happy for the people around me, like family, my mom, them, they're just like, they're my family back home, people just around me, same as here, been just like, have been so close for so many years. I was 4 years in a row reserve world champion and having a good NFR, not big for much, but just not meant to be having a grand finals and end up going in number one, leaving number two. You know how hard it is, kind of like, man, in New York again, let's start over. But that gold buckle doesn't change you. But man, that's awesome to win one. That's everybody's dream, especially for me and being that close. Like you close, you probably you have a chance to do it. You're capable to it. But when I got that buckle, I thank God first, because man, and I think even like thanks God just don't let me give up, because I was really close to give up on so many things, and just to be in perseverance, just to be, a hard worker, and but I was really happy to my family. I was not even really proud of myself to done it, because it was just God's time. We knew it.
I think it was really cool how God used you for your story and where you came from. That you had to inspire so many other kids and young kids from just the hard work and the position God put you in, and He led you and you was faithful, and it worked out. It was so cool.
That's cool, But then the moment I grabbed that book, I was very thankful. But then I was really happy for my family and friends, everybody's around. Because people they just suffering with us. That's unbelievable. They couldn't believe it. They just like, on JoJo lost the rope. They just on JoJo lost the rope. They're like a World Cup. Brazilian soccer is a big deal. People were just like, they had flags, Brazilian flags outside. And it's like, oh, it's just tonight. If they catch that steer, we're gonna. And the time change is like 4 hours ahead, and Brazil is late.
Yeah, so it's late to be a fan down there.
But I just for everybody, for them, and my partner too. The guy worked so hard.
Absolutely, you guys came about at the right time too, because both of you guys were deserving of it.
Yeah, it's like guy has been how many times reserve world champion, the greatest healers, and he's the greatest header in business, and
absolutely
he developed, got better horses, investing. It's just like, but we knew it was in God's time, and His timing's perfect. And sometimes we kind of don't want Him, We kind of like, man, it's taking too long. Maybe I should give up, or should do this, do that, or get mad, or whatever. If, and it's so many if that happened, but when you look down and say that thing, if would have happened, I would have won it. But I don't think the real thing, I'm not supposed to win. But now we break through. He gave it to us, and then in 2022, that's when they had that really good year.
Oh man, that was a year. Set the
year.
single season record in earnings.
I never won a big rodeo. Only big rodeo we won is Fort Worth, and then like it was a 20,000. But we never won. We never placed in big rodeo.
Your guys' stats was unreal.
We caught a lot of steers.
It's almost every rodeo.
Almost every rodeo.
And then finished them off with the world title.
Yeah, and then
Another one.
And then I hurt my shoulder a little bit, and then I was just I didn't rope great, but then Caleb did great. Turned every steer, kind of stay hooking the average, place here and there, and it's kind of crazy how how our mind works in place too. Because I'm telling you, everything in the end was working for me not to. Patrick Taylor just killing it. And everything just happened them to win it. Mm-hmm. Just like you win. And they draw the right and they just kill it. And they're just winning over and over. So I remember the last round we had we looked steers, I remember when Caleb get on that horse and Caleb had a good steer and Caleb fished it on figure eight the nose. That was a good steer. I think that was in the 7th round. Maybe 8th round, probably. I don't remember. So and I think it was the same steer, probably on the last round, and he was one of the greatest. So I remember, so that steer really good, and I had another steer, no good. No, everybody caught Duck's head, Fat P. That's one Jake long. All Jake was the only one caught him, and they flagged him out. Remember? Bad, terrible. That's steer. Yep. Bad steer. Like it was not. If we have to pick one, he don't want to.
Right.
And he ducked his head. So. Whatever they sent, I remember both steers numbers. So I sit down, I said, this is the worst one. I don't like this one, and everything else okay. And this one's a really good one. This one's a good one. So we usually have 2 good ones in there.
Right.
1 or 2.
Especially on 10th round.
Especially on 10th round.
Because 10th round, they start getting sorry in that little arena, and the good ones are hard to find.
So then, okay, Caleb said, man, whatever, let's see what we draw. So somebody sent me a text. Say, what steer I have? They send me the text. I'm just like, I think it was 56 or something, 58. I'm just like, man, that's the worst steer in the pin. That was him. So I text him back. I don't remember who. So I said, whoever has the other steer or whatever, I think it was 47 or something.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So they said,
you got the good one.
So I asked him, and he said, I got this one. So I look it up as the terrible one. So I said, who has the good one? He said, Tanner. Just like, oh. So we have to catch that steer. Have to win second to win the average. But if we miss or if we don't do good, drop an average one spot, if they win the round, they're world champions. Mm-hmm. So they go like 2-3 or maybe one before us. They go 3-6 in that thing. They just blast him. I just like, man.
Yeah, they didn't let up.
No, so they
stayed
just
hooked.
Blast him.
Yeah.
So Caleb said, man, let's wait until you get there. I'm going to have him. And I'm going to pull that steer so make sure he hops because he was peeking. And so he did a great job. He just put his hat down and he stuck.
He did stay.
And he wheeled and boy. I think it's well deserved. We didn't have a great final like we wanted. But through the year, I think we deserved that year because we rope. I feel like we rope really, really good that year through the year.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch from the sidelines. I'm telling you, your career, in my opinion, is so worthy of a movie. I really do. It's
I don't know about that.
No, it is. Your story and somebody to be able to do a movie on would inspire so many people. And I love those stories like that. And that's a great one. It is so good. What do you think that another kid from Brazil that would want to follow in Junior's footsteps, what do you think that the recipe is or the blueprint that you would be able to tell that kid that he would be able to pursue it as his own dream that you learned?
I don't think it's just I do like from Brazil or not even, but I think how learning from different countries, the whole, it's a big difference. But the one thing, we're all the same. We're all created from the same one. And we believe in hard work, discipline, all that. And we have to have that no matter what, if you're a believer or not a believer. But when you really believe in God, when you really kind of ask Him to approve your dreams or tell Him the truth, because since I was little, I always asked Him. I loved it. That was my passion to do. And we love it to do what we do, to rope and now we go through some hard ups and downs, just high and lows, and it's just about life. It looks like we're gonna go through no matter what. But when we really kind of like get close to the one who just to give us the ability and the life, and it don't give up no matter what, because you see, so many stuff even the other day is kind of we're gonna go through hard times. I hear it's tough. It's not easy. Like Jake said, it's tough. It's a war over here, and it is. But if we stay hooked, we know in the end we're gonna have a victory. We're gonna become victory. The good or bad, we're gonna go through all of it. But man, God has been amazing in my life. I'm not going to be a big time Christian or preacher, but I feel like I have to say that because since I was little, He had a promise in my life, and He did. He had a promise. He would just bring me across oceans and different nations. I had to learn different language so I could speak to people. He spoke to them. If I would stay under His presence and to do all along, He would help me get through it. He would help me put out there if I believe and stay under His presence. Have to work hard. But that's like how He said. And He said the little kids would love me. So exactly when I was 12 years old, the pastor said that. And I believe it.
Yeah.
But it's not because that you don't think, oh, I'm talented, gifted, I'm so gifted, I don't have to work. I'm so gifted, I'm better than everybody. Be arrogant. You have to be positive and believe in yourself, but not because believe you have to be a bully, or you don't have to be, you think you're better than everybody else. But you gotta believe it. You have to have faith to get there, and you cannot give up. It's hard because they'll get so close to give up so many times, and even today, sometimes you're just like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. I don't want to just go over and over do the same thing, and I don't know if it's that fun anymore. It's not that fun, and I have family, kids, wife, and I look back myself. I didn't have nothing, and I was really happy. And now I pretty much have everything I needed. God have provided through the work, through friends, through sponsors, through everybody's involved with us, been helping this dream come true. And sometimes
He was faithful.
And it's faithful. And sometimes we're just like, man, I don't know if I want to do this. But everybody gonna go through it. I think this is through life. That's what I'm learning. I'm trying to get better every single day. Better, better professional, better roper, a better father, better friend. And I think in the end, everything, Charlie, what I'm learning too is that we always work to get better ourselves, and you do in school, you see a lot of people, but I think now is just time when you pass through your deal to other ones, or you can maybe inspire somebody, or just to have a better day, or talk to somebody just to touch their heart, or something, think they're special for do something, or just even when he ropes, if it's a low number guy, he just can relax and enjoy a little bit. So he get all the pressure out he's doing, and he when he get on the horse and rope, and that's why sometimes I feel even when I'm roping, working at it, I'm just like stressed out and thinking about every single thing when I get on it. Sometimes it looks like I'm just a whole crazy stay outside the arena, and I close that gate, and it's just me and my horse and the steers, and you don't think about anything.
One of the things I remembered when in my career, every time I would see you had that gift, because every time I'd see you always smiled. Hey, what's up, cowboy? You did. You had you have a great air about you. Every time they see you, it's hard not to have a bad day when you're hanging out with you. You have a very grateful spirit, and it rubs off.
Thank you. I need to be like that, and I'm not different. I get mad too, get frustrated.
Anybody a team ropes?
Sometimes I just get, but sometimes it just doesn't hurt to laugh about it.
Yeah.
And then have a good time with a friend. So,
did you ever think, looking back, that if you never did have the opportunity to come up to the States, what you think you'd be doing in Brazil right now?
I don't know. I think it'll be roping still. That's what I loved, and probably train horses. But we live, Charlie. This is what I'm so thankful for this country have done for me, my family. Just to be part of this whole roping history. I got to meet the coolest guys. I get to see, and I got to watch Mr. Lou Camarillo. He was 3 by 2 feet at the American. I get to take pictures of him and talk to him about roping.
Was that your first year?
Yes, I don't think it's the first. Maybe it was a 17. I think when he roped with T.
With T. I forgot what year it was too, but it was so cool.
I get to the era we got to see, and from coming where I came from, I got to become friends like Speed, Mr. Reach. I call Mr. Clay, Alan, Walt Woodard. You know what I'm saying? Just I talk to them, they're my friends, and I see and then see the different generation, and you go see the greatest headers, Rich and Coils and Horsemen's, and just be part of that. Like, you heard the stories, and I heard the stories from the older guys, Leo and those, and get to meet Leo, and then go to generation, just be part of it. That's just something that's really, really special, because I love team roping, I love roping, I love roading, I do love that, and I think everybody else in here do. Sometimes we think we hate, but we don't, because we get just tired and boring.
Well, it does get tiring. That's what I think a lot of people know, but a lot of people almost just don't quite know just the stress behind it, for sure. And it is. I remember going through that at times, like at the end of the year. It was pretty easy for me to have my head down and forget. Like, I might have just passed a little kid that may have watched me on TV, and you forget all that. You just forget because you're so consumed with your head wanting to go home.
But we do. It's not like I'm talking to here, but it's me too. I'm not going to skip myself. Sometimes we're going to walk out of there, got to go to the next rodeo. You just don't even look into the side. You just been
past the point of exhaustion almost.
Mad. I'm over this. BS. I want to go home. It's like, let's be done with this thing. But
do you think when you retire, you think you'll stay in the States, or do you think you'll go back home to Brazil?
No, Charlie, everybody asked me that. My kids are American. I'm American now too, half American, half
you did?
Brazilian. I did fast and everything.
Good. Congratulations.
But I don't know. It's kind of
glad
hard
to have
on the
you
kids. Yo, thank you. No, I just what this country has. American is the best place in the whole world, no doubt. Not only for what we do, but being safe and the opportunities we have here it is no doubt, But Brazil's a cool country too. Good people, French. It's everything has the goods and bads. But I don't know if I'll go back. Honestly, I don't know. I can answer that right now.
Time will tell.
Time will tell. Maybe I go, maybe not. Maybe if God wants me to stay, maybe we travel some.
Yeah.
Winter time's too cold here. Still Brazil in the cold. I hate cold weather. Maybe we got to go to Brazil in the winter time and come back here.
There you go. Well, man, I'm so proud of your story. So proud of the person you are. And, man, thanks for sharing this story. I appreciate it. I loved hearing it. I'm just sitting over here as a fan. It was awesome, man.
No.
Wish you and Driggs the best of luck this year, and stick it on, man. We'll all be rooting for you.
Yeah, no, thanks, Charlie, for having me. We've been talking for a little bit trying to get this done, and it was perfect timing.
Yeah, it was great timing. So how do we follow you? Everything on social media?
Social media, yeah. Just said Junior Nogueira 101 on the Facebook, Junior Nogueira fan page. Like, I'm kind of off a little bit, but we're going to get back on it and just start posting some more and do some more stuff so people can really follow us.
Awesome. We'll do good this year.
All right, thanks, Joe.